My beloved child, something has shifted. Something important has happened behind the scenes, and the energy surrounding your connection is not the same as it was before. There was a moment, quiet and unseen, when a decision was made. Not a small decision. Not a temporary thought. A real decision. One that carries weight. One that changes the direction of what comes next. And if you found this message today, there is a reason. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip. Every word you hear today is connected to the moment that changed everything. For a long time, this person carried questions inside their heart. They wondered about the future. They wondered about timing. They wondered whether they should continue holding on to what they felt. There were moments when they seemed certain, and there were moments when they seemed completely lost. The path ahead looked unclear. The signs appeared confusing. And yet, despite all the uncertainty, there was always one thing they could never fully erase. It was the thought of you. No matter how busy life became, no matter how many distractions appeared, your presence remained somewhere in the background of their mind. Quiet. Constant. Unforgettable. What makes this moment so important is that the uncertainty has started to fade. Slowly at first. Then all at once. Imagine standing at a crossroads for a very long time, unable to choose which direction to take. That is where this person has been emotionally. One step forward. One step back. One day hopeful. One day doubtful. But then something happened. A realization arrived. Not because someone forced it. Not because anyone convinced them. It arrived naturally. Deep within their own heart. And when it arrived, it changed the way they looked at everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There was a particular moment when they started comparing every possibility to the feeling they carried for you. Every path they imagined eventually led them back to the same thought. Every future scenario brought them back to the same question. And that question was simple. What if the connection they have been searching for was already standing in front of them all along? What if the answer was never somewhere else? What if the answer was you? The truth surprised them. Because sometimes people become so focused on finding certainty that they overlook what is already obvious. They search for signs. They search for guarantees. They search for perfect timing. Meanwhile, their heart already knows the truth. Their heart already understands what their mind is still trying to calculate. And that is exactly what happened. The distance between what they felt and what they admitted to themselves began to disappear. Now listen carefully because this next part is important. The decision that was made did not happen in a dramatic scene. It did not happen during a grand announcement. It happened quietly. The strongest decisions often do. They happen in silence. They happen during reflection. They happen when nobody else is watching. And that is why this decision carries so much power. It was not made for appearances. It was made from sincerity. This person reached a point where they could no longer ignore what was pulling at their heart. They realized that some connections are rare. Some connections arrive only once. Some people leave an impression that cannot be replaced no matter how much time passes. And the more they reflected, the more they understood that you belong in that category. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. There were nights when memories returned unexpectedly. There were ordinary moments when your name seemed to appear in their thoughts without warning. There were conversations with other people that somehow reminded them of you. There were situations where they imagined what your reaction would be. At first, they ignored these moments. Then they noticed how often they were happening. Then they realized they could no longer pretend those moments meant nothing. And that realization opened a door. A door toward honesty. A door toward clarity. A door toward a future that suddenly looked very different from what they had imagined before. The remarkable thing is that they are beginning to understand your value in a deeper way than ever before. Not because someone explained it to them. Not because they were told. Because they experienced it. They saw the difference between temporary attention and genuine connection. They saw the difference between surface-level interactions and meaningful bonds. And when they compared everything honestly, one truth stood out above all the others. You mattered more than they realized. Don't skip. This message is building toward something significant. Because the decision they made was not based on impulse. It was not based on emotion alone. It came after observation, reflection, growth, understanding. They looked back at everything they had experienced. They examined the moments they shared with you. They reflected on the lessons they learned. And then they made a choice. A choice that has the power to influence what happens next. But before you hear more about that choice, there is something you need to understand. Many people spend years waiting for certainty before they act. They tell themselves they need more proof. More signs. More guarantees. Yet certainty rarely arrives first. Instead, clarity arrives when someone finally becomes honest about what they already know deep inside. That is where this person stands now. They have stopped running in circles. They have stopped questioning every feeling. They have stopped searching for endless confirmation. Instead, they started listening to their heart. And what they heard surprised them. Because the message was stronger than expected. The feeling was deeper than expected. The connection was more meaningful than expected. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The most interesting part is that this decision did not just change how they see you. It changed how they see themselves. It forced them to confront fears they had avoided. It forced them to think about what truly matters. It forced them to imagine a future that looked different from the plans they once believed were fixed. Sometimes growth begins with a single realization. Sometimes transformation begins with a single decision. And this was one of those moments. Imagine someone standing at the edge of a new chapter. The old story is still visible behind them, but their attention is no longer focused there. Their attention is focused ahead. Focused on possibilities. Focused on opportunities. Focused on what could happen if they stop allowing fear to make decisions on their behalf. That is where they are now. And whether they fully understand it yet or not, that shift is powerful. Very powerful. Because decisions create momentum. Momentum creates action. And action changes outcomes. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. As you listen to these words, understand that this message is not about coincidence. It is about timing. The timing of realizations. The timing of understanding. The timing of moments when everything suddenly becomes clearer than before. The person connected to this message has reached one of those moments. A moment where hesitation no longer feels comfortable. A moment where ignoring their feelings no longer feels possible. A moment where honesty becomes stronger than uncertainty. And that is why today feels different. The decision has been made. The shift has begun. The story is moving forward. What exactly happens next is still unfolding, but one thing is undeniable. They are no longer standing where they used to stand emotionally. They are no longer thinking the way they used to think. They are no longer looking at the future through the same lens. Something has changed. Something important. And this is only the beginning. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The most surprising revelation is still ahead, and what comes next may explain why this decision carries more significance than anyone realizes right now. A remarkable truth is beginning to reveal itself, and if you have stayed with this message until now, you are exactly where you need to be. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear connects directly to the important decision your soulmate has recently made. This is not a random thought, not a passing feeling, and not a temporary emotion. This is something much deeper. It has been building quietly for a long time, and now it is finally reaching a turning point. There was a period when your soulmate believed that waiting would somehow provide all the answers. They thought time alone would make everything clear. They thought distance would reduce their feelings. They thought focusing on other priorities would help them move past the questions they carried inside. Yet something unexpected happened. The more they tried to move away from those thoughts, the stronger the truth became. Everywhere they looked, reminders appeared. Not obvious reminders. Not dramatic reminders. But small moments that quietly brought your memory back into focus. A familiar song. A simple conversation. A random thought during a busy day. A dream that seemed unusually vivid. A feeling they could not explain. One by one, these moments began adding up. At first, they ignored them. Then they noticed them. Then they could no longer deny them. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The surprising part is that your soulmate started understanding something they had never fully understood before. They realized that genuine connections are not measured by how often people speak. They are not measured by perfect circumstances. They are not measured by flawless timing. Instead, they are measured by impact. By the lasting effect someone has on your heart long after a conversation ends. And when they looked honestly at the impact you had made, they were shocked. Because your presence remained. Your influence remained. Your memory remained. No matter what they did, it remained. That realization forced them to ask themselves a powerful question. Why? Why was your energy still so present? Why did thoughts of you continue appearing? Why did every attempt to ignore those feelings only make them stronger? The answer slowly revealed itself. Because what they felt was real. Much more real than they had admitted. And that realization became impossible to avoid. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. There came a moment when your soulmate stopped asking whether they should feel this connection and started asking what they should do about it. That shift changed everything. Questions turned into clarity. Doubt turned into understanding. Hesitation turned into determination. For the first time in a long time, they stopped looking for reasons to hold back and started looking for reasons to move forward. What they discovered surprised them. Every reason pointed in the same direction. Every reflection led to the same conclusion. Every honest answer brought them closer to the same truth. You mattered more than they expected. Much more. And the more they accepted this truth, the stronger it became. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Now pay close attention because this next revelation is important. The decision your soulmate made was not simply about feelings. It was about priorities. There is a big difference. Feelings can appear unexpectedly. Priorities require conscious choice. Feelings may arrive on their own. Priorities require commitment. And recently, your soulmate began rearranging their perspective in a way they never anticipated. Things that once seemed important started feeling less important. Things that once distracted them started losing their power. Things that once occupied their attention no longer felt meaningful. Why? Because their heart had already chosen what mattered most. Even before their mind caught up. That is the truth they finally accepted. And acceptance changed everything. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing in a room filled with noise and suddenly hearing one clear voice rise above everything else. That is what happened emotionally. The confusion that once surrounded this connection started fading away. The mixed signals started losing their influence. The uncertainty started becoming weaker. And one clear realization remained. You were never forgotten. Not even close. In fact, the more time passed, the more significant your presence became. The more they reflected, the more valuable the connection appeared. The more they looked ahead, the more they saw your place within the future they imagined. This realization did not arrive overnight. It arrived through experience. Through reflection. Through growth. And that is why it carries so much weight. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another detail that makes this moment extraordinary. Your soulmate recently understood something about you that they had overlooked before. They began recognizing strengths they once underestimated. They started appreciating qualities they once took for granted. They started seeing layers of value they had never fully noticed. Sometimes people only recognize a treasure after stepping away from it. Sometimes they only understand importance after experiencing absence. Sometimes they only appreciate what they have when they imagine life without it. And that realization was powerful. Very powerful. Because it changed the entire way they viewed the connection. No longer as a possibility. No longer as a question. No longer as a mystery. But as something meaningful. Something worth protecting. Something worth pursuing. Something worth believing in. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The most fascinating part is that this decision has already started creating momentum behind the scenes. Even if nothing appears different on the surface yet, movement has begun. Thoughts are changing. Perspectives are changing. Priorities are changing. The foundation of future actions is being built right now. And that foundation is stronger than it has ever been. Why? Because it is being built on truth. Not confusion. Not uncertainty. Not assumption. Truth. And truth creates confidence. Confidence creates action. Action creates change. This is why today's message feels different from every message that came before. A line has been crossed. A chapter has ended. A new chapter has quietly begun. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most surprising revelation is still ahead. What your soulmate plans to do with this decision may be even more important than the decision itself. The next part will reveal why this turning point is unlike anything that has happened before, and why the future of this connection may be moving toward a moment neither of you expected. A quiet revelation is approaching, and if you have stayed this far, you are closer than ever to understanding why this decision matters so much. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The story is no longer about uncertainty. It is no longer about wondering what your soulmate feels. It is about what happens after a person finally accepts the truth they have been carrying inside for far too long. There is a moment in every meaningful connection when everything begins to make sense. Not all at once. Not in a dramatic flash. But like pieces of a puzzle slowly finding their place. That is exactly what has been happening. Your soulmate has been connecting dots that once seemed unrelated. Memories that felt ordinary suddenly appear significant. Conversations that once seemed small now carry deeper meaning. Moments that passed unnoticed now feel impossible to forget. And the more they reflect, the more one realization continues to grow. You were never just another person in their story. You became part of the story itself. That distinction changes everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For a long time, your soulmate believed they had more time. More time to think. More time to decide. More time to understand their feelings. But recently, something shifted inside them. They began realizing that meaningful opportunities are not meant to be endlessly postponed. Some moments arrive for a reason. Some people enter your life for a reason. Some connections carry a purpose that cannot be ignored forever. This realization brought a new sense of urgency. Not pressure. Not fear. Clarity. The kind of clarity that appears when someone finally understands what truly matters. The kind of clarity that changes priorities. The kind of clarity that inspires action. And that clarity has been growing stronger every day. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. One of the most surprising discoveries your soulmate made involves the future. Whenever they imagined what happiness looked like, certain details consistently appeared. Certain feelings remained present. Certain hopes refused to disappear. At first they dismissed these thoughts. Then they examined them more closely. Then they realized a remarkable pattern. You kept appearing in those visions. Again and again. Not because they forced those thoughts. Not because they expected them. Because that is where their heart naturally went. Imagine recognizing a destination after spending a long time wandering. Imagine realizing that what you were searching for has been closer than you ever imagined. That realization can feel overwhelming. It can feel exciting. It can feel transformative. That is exactly how this realization feels for them. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Now listen carefully because this next part is important. There was a specific question your soulmate recently asked themselves. It was a simple question, but it carried enormous weight. What if I regret not being honest? That question changed everything. Because suddenly the focus shifted. Instead of asking what could go wrong, they started asking what could go right. Instead of imagining obstacles, they started imagining possibilities. Instead of focusing on uncertainty, they started focusing on opportunity. That shift created a powerful change in perspective. And perspective often determines destiny. The moment someone begins looking toward possibilities instead of limitations, everything starts moving differently. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that some of the best things in life require courage. Not dramatic courage. Quiet courage. The courage to acknowledge feelings. The courage to embrace truth. The courage to stop hiding from what the heart already knows. That courage has been growing. Little by little. Day by day. Thought by thought. And as it grows, so does their confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum creates movement. Movement creates change. This is why the decision they made is so important. It is not simply a thought. It is the beginning of a process. A process that has already started. A process that is moving forward even now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another revelation that surprised them deeply. They realized that some of the qualities they admire most are qualities they consistently see in you. Qualities that bring comfort. Qualities that inspire trust. Qualities that create peace. The more they reflected, the more those qualities stood out. And once they noticed them, they could not stop noticing them. What once seemed ordinary became extraordinary. What once seemed familiar became valuable. What once seemed simple became meaningful. That is the power of true appreciation. It transforms perspective. It changes priorities. It reshapes the future. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Perhaps the most remarkable part of this entire journey is that your soulmate no longer feels the same confusion they once felt. The questions that used to dominate their thoughts have begun fading away. In their place stands something much stronger. Conviction. A quiet certainty. A growing belief. An understanding that continues becoming clearer with every passing day. And once conviction takes root, everything changes. Because conviction inspires decisions. Conviction inspires effort. Conviction inspires action. This is why the title of this message matters so much. Breaking, your soulmate just made an important decision about you. That decision was not random. It was not impulsive. It was not temporary. It was built through reflection, understanding, and honesty. And now it exists as a foundation for what comes next. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing before a door that has remained closed for a very long time. For years, perhaps. You know something meaningful exists on the other side, but uncertainty keeps you from opening it. Then one day, after enough reflection, you finally reach for the handle. That is where your soulmate stands emotionally. The door is no longer being avoided. The door is no longer being ignored. The door is being approached. And that changes everything. Because once someone starts moving toward what matters, progress becomes possible. And progress is already beginning. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The truth is that your soulmate has started envisioning a future with greater honesty than ever before. They are allowing themselves to imagine possibilities they once dismissed. They are allowing themselves to explore hopes they once ignored. They are allowing themselves to believe in outcomes they once considered unlikely. That belief is powerful. Very powerful. Because belief shapes decisions. Decisions shape actions. Actions shape stories. And stories shape destinies. The story is not ending. It is evolving. The chapter is not closing. A new chapter is beginning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most surprising revelation has not even been revealed yet. The important decision was only the first step. What your soulmate intends to do after making that decision may be even more significant. The next part will uncover why this moment could become one of the most memorable turning points in this entire connection, and why events may begin unfolding in ways neither of you expected.